Hey, what's up, y'all? So here we are, episode 4 of the Neon Demons, and today's challenge is for me to try to make an entertaining video when the footage I have is nothing but me doing supports. So two ways I'm going to do that. First is I'll probably throw in a little bit of a surprise so you can see what the coaster actually looks like as I'm fooling around in NoLimits 2. And the second way I'll do that is because I just got a subscription to Adobe Creative Suite. So we're going to call this the kitchen sink video. I'm going to try out a few of the templates and preset effects and whatnot so I can get the hang of Premiere Pro and maybe some After Effects too. So let's roll. Okay, first up, I desaturated the colors again because for those of you who have been watching this series from the start, I kind of want them to pop out a lot in the final video when we do that. I used a Western preset, so it kind of ends up looking like a Sergio Leone movie. But I also started playing around after I finished up the supports. I started playing around with how the ride is going to look in the final video in NoLimits 2. I had a lot of ideas in my head for what I wanted to do with this. Whether or not I was going to be able to execute them well was another question. So I started playing around, looking at images and so forth and so on, and I'm on the right track. And now I just need to work on that. So it's probably going to take me a little while to do the final video because I think it's going to be full of a lot of effects and so forth. So we'll see. We'll see how far I'm going to push that. So it may be a little while once we finish up this episode. I don't know if I'll do another episode or not before the final video. We'll see. So otherwise, that means that we have coming up more FVD elements. I've gotten 3 requests now. Since I did the basic series, I am going to be doing a sea serpent roll next, both a normal sea serpent roll and one specifically from Medusa at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I am going to be doing a wing over. That's been requested several times, so I need to get to that. And finally today, someone asked me if I could do the Mako Stengel Dive. I did a Stengel Dive once before, but the Mako one is a little bit different from what I did, so I will try to duplicate that. And of course, while I'm working on the video for this, I will also probably start a new project, something to keep you all entertained and entertain myself. There are 2 series actually I have in mind, one being called Quintessentials, in which I basically talk about the history of a particular company going all the way back to, say, John Miller through the present day. Talk about the history of that company, their design philosophy, the way they design rides, and then creating a sort of quintessential version example of one of their rides. So I'm thinking of starting probably with John Miller and working my way forward, but we'll see about that. Alternatively, I may do a GCI, since I've been thinking about doing one of those for a while, and it would definitely be a challenge because they are definitely difficult to replicate. Or I would also like to start a discussion series in which I talk about particular ideas or aspects of coasters. I think the first one would probably be about airtime. I've got some ideas for what I want to do with that. So of those 3 things, I'll probably be choosing one of them to work on while I'm working on this video simultaneously. So there's definitely a lot coming up here. And then let's see what else. My next trip is planned on March 1st. I am going to San Antonio, Texas to go to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, SeaWorld, and ZDT. I have never been to any of the parks in Texas, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully everything will be up and running. I know there is an ACE event going on there 1 or 2 weeks before I'm arriving, so I'm assuming everything should be good to go. And I will have a 4K camera before then, so the footage I bring back should be pretty good. And definitely one of the things I was really looking forward in a camera was massive stabilization capabilities, because I tend to have a shaky hand when I'm filming. So I found the perfect camera. I think it's going to work right for me, so I'm really looking forward to bringing that content to you as well. And of course, as always, if there's anything you want to see or something you have ideas for what I could do or anything like that, always let me know. Always glad to get feedback. So with all that being said, you see we were winding up this ride. I was finally getting all the supports done. Of course, naturally, I had to do some changes to the supports just to make them fit properly, but this actually turned out to be much easier than I expected it to be. I thought the supports were really going to be hell to work on, and I have to say it was fairly simple. So we're going to finish this up, and then I'm going to leave you with a final quick little glamour shot of the beginnings of what this ride is going to look like in NoLimits 2. So that is going to be it for this time. Take care and enjoy the ride.